so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on Politics Today on Channels Television. We're live for you from Ekiti, where we're covering the Ekiti State governorship election. Well, we saw earlier today the distribution of materials from the INEC office and the state office in Ekiti. We saw the movement of the materials being monitored by observers, security agents, and of course INEC officials to the different local government areas, 16 of them in Ekiti State, and the political parties are also on the ground to monitor that. But let us let you know that today is the final day of campaign as far as this governorship election is concerned. One of the political parties that held its rally is the Socio-Democratic Party, which held its final rally at the pavilion here in Ekiti, which we saw a lot of their members in their colors mount rostrum and speaking about the agenda of the SDP and Engineer Shegoni. And of course, on a day like this, we know it's always very busy, speaking with a lot of the governorship candidates whom are not able to make it to the studio, but we're lucky to have Engineer Shegoni, the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party in the Ekiti State governorship election. He joins us live here in our Ekiti studio. Thank you so much, Engineer Shegoni, for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Of course, yes. We've done what we should do, so we are waiting for the people's verdict. We are ready.
I thought you said you're leaving it to God, but you're leaving it to the hands of the people.
You know, it's in the hands of the people, and it's also in the hands of God. But I believe we've got into...
In this part of the world, we always leave a lot of things to God. While neglecting our own jobs, that's just an aside. God has a lot of role to play. I mean, the spiritual has a lot of role to play in how humans behave. But of course, the humans also have their own role to play. You play your role, God plays his role. But how much of destiny or God that you see in your life? A former governor, do you think destiny is going to play back and give you another chance at governing this state?
I would say that the record of service that I gave to the people of Ekiti stands for me. I've been gone for nearly 12 years now, and it's not very common that a man who's gone for 12 years, within which there had been 3 governments, by 2 individuals, will still be in contention. And I'm very grateful to God for that. And it's a testimony of the service that I gave to the people, for which I'm very proud. And the people themselves are saying it. And at times, it's like frenzy. After the rally, I went to town in a motorcade, and you see people coming out of the house, their houses, and what they say, the way they say them, and so on, makes me very emotional. And I'm very grateful to God. All I can do is pray that I would never disappoint those guys, because it will be a worse disaster if I'm not able to live to the expectation.
You think you want to prove a point if you get the mandate of the people this time around?
I'm going to live to their expectation. I gave them very, very good service. Still the best, that's what they say. So what I should give them should not just be the best, but it should be better than the best. That is better than my previous performance.
Why do you so much long? This is not the first time you want to return to the government house. Why? What is it in the governorship of Ekiti State? A state that doesn't rank as much in terms of federal allocation. Your IGR is not as much. So a lot of people will wonder. It takes a lot of pain to be able to govern a state with not so much resources. So in that sense, there must be something that you want to go back to the government house to pick.
No. Nothing. Let me say this very clearly. The urge to do things right, the urge to solve problems and create the kind of society that we would like to see is what brought me in the first instance. And by the way, I have made only one previous attempt, and it ended at the primaries level.
Yes, and that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
You lost at the primaries during Kyle Fayemi's return to.
Ended at the primaries level. So this is my second attempt after. And you see, if you see a potential for a turnaround, and you see that that potential is not being realized, if you have a love for the people, you will be upset and you will feel the need to do it so that other people will know it's possible.
What upsets you the most in all of this? I mean, since you said that some of this potential, if it's not realized, it's upsetting. So what upsets you the most?
For example, I put in a set of programs that young people would have been the most beneficiaries. We had a digital project that would have created our own Zuckerbergs of the future. I gave every SS1 child in boarding school a personal laptop. We made all boarding schools a VSAT environment, so you won't have to go and buy data. You are not constrained. So do just what you like with your laptop. We are not asking you to study history with it or study mathematics with it. Just do whatever. Play with it. 24/7 you have a laptop. What I was trying to arrive at is give a child this access at that point in time. Let the friendship be on the child's terms. And somehow, he may get up to something. Facebook did not start by the rhetorics of a Harvard or MIT. It came from interactions between a man and his computer, and from there they moved it up. I was dreaming that by now, more than 10 years after, we could have gotten at least one or two breakthroughs. We lost them. Of course, Nigeria has created at least one or two apps now that are really living up to expectations.
So, in essence, education is one of those things that makes you, the manner in which education is being administered makes you get upset. Now, it upsets you. Now, the question I would like to bring out of that is Ekiti State is a land of knowledge. There's so a lot of, fountain of knowledge. It's appellation. People often say that every household in Ekiti State has a professor. And you can always also say that some of the most fantastic lawyers in this country are from Ekiti State.
Yeah.
The Olane Pekuns, the Afe Babalolas, the Femi Falanas. They are from here. Now, if you look at the education ranking of Ekiti State, it slipped from 1st to the 11th. There is a decline. In fact, if I may put out the index, which says that Ekiti State Education Index declined from 0.94 to 0.84. And you mentioned the issue of education. Do you have anything to do differently as far as education is concerned?
We're going to do a lot of things differently. A lot of things differently. When I came the other time, we're not even looking at just the normal school work. laptop is not normal schoolwork. We're just creating an environment where we're trying to stimulate pupils to get the best. We created scholarships. For example, you can win a scholarship even at secondary school levels to do senior secondary in a boarding school free of charge. And from that you go on. We were challenging the pupils, even from there, that you could be world beaters. We also put sports at their disposal because it would be naive of us to think that you can only make optimal contributions via normal classroom learning. I brought Chiboni Bide to come and manage. Yes, coach. To come and manage my talent development program for soccer. In fact, he said when I first invited him for a discussion, he thought I wanted to say, "Can you coach a team for us?" And I said, "No. As far as I'm concerned, my idea of investing in sports is not for me to win the National League here or a Challenge Cup. No. Or go to National Sports Festival. I'm not trying to run it down and win a couple of gold medals. No. I'm looking for people who will be potential world beaters."
So, Governor, from your own point of view, because there is a slip, Ekiti State fell from 1 to 11 in 4 years. What can you do to change that scenario should you become governor? How high can you take the index?
If it was once 1, it means in 4 years we can really take it back to 1. If it was once 1, I don't know what the parameters are they're looking at, but once I study it, I will know how to get back to 1.
So you know you have what it takes to get
of course we can get back to 1.
In terms of IGR, let me take you away from education. In terms of the IGR of the state, what is your projection? How much of IGR, internally generated revenue, can you come by?
First, we are going to bring in some investment lines that are going to, in itself, create a lift for IGR. In my first year, the other time, I improved IGR by 131%. 131%.
So you can repeat that.
We can do it. We can do that.
Because people will immediately remember what you did in agriculture, and they will remember those cows you brought in that never materialized, they never come to nothing. Practically, those your critics will say that was a futile effort.
Well,
and that was one of your major disadvantage.
No, it was futile because my successors made it futile. I left cows there. You should have asked them. And one of these days, when you have Coyote on the spot, you should ask him, what happened to those cows?
Did you put a proper system in place to make those work? Because it's not only in your state. States in like Kwara State, there are some guy farmers who came from Zimbabwe. And not only in Kwara State, there are a few states in Nigeria that have experimented it. It's worked in some states. But the state government will tell you that, in fact, they have a partnership with Promasidor, and so agriculture is working. And milk is being gotten out of Ekiti State. How come your own cows never?
No, the cows have just come. We were trying to complete the lease because I wanted to lease the whole thing to an investor. We were trying to cross the T's and dot the I's So it's not a matter of not succeeding. We were succeeding. We were at the verge of...
Would you bring that cow initiative again back?
If Promasido is working, why will I change it? I won't change it. I will encourage them.
You will continue with what cow the Fireme is doing. Should you win?
That's where I'm different. You see, I don't have a complex to believe that it will take a while out of me if I say I'm endorsing what any predecessor does.
I mean, there are two major political parties in Nigeria. SDP is seen as a third or fourth, as the case may be. In fact, some people will rate ABGA as a third, first, in terms of political party rating in Nigeria. APC being the ruling party, the PDP being a major opposition. PDP has about 15 governors. The APC has about 22 governors. Your party does not have any governor, sitting governor as we speak. Does that count as a disadvantage for you in terms of your party structure, your party system, especially in Ekiti State?
It does not. You see, this is about people. What is structure? Structure is people. You will not believe what people are saying to us now, how people are jumping at us, despite the fact that we don't have a single governor. But we are going to create the change that Nigeria wants to see. I'm so excited at the opportunities that I can see. And I believe it is going to be a very beautiful conquest once we get there.
I mean, for those who see that this is a race that may not be concluded on the first ballot, I mean, this is a first time in a long time that a third party, there will be a third strong party. And a lot of people have analyzed that the SDP comes as a strong party because Segun Oni is on the ballot, on the bill of the SDP. Do you think that this election might not conclude on the first ballot?
On the other hand, I will say that it will be done on the first ballot, and it's going to be a massive win.
For the APC or PDP? Or for the
SDP.
You are confident you will win this election?
Oh, I'm going to win first ballot, and it's going to be a
out of the 16 local government, how many do you think you can bring for the SDP?
My projection is 14.
Out of the 16?
Yeah.
You obviously have your strong areas and you have your weak areas. I mean, there are states, local government areas you may not be as strong. And which are these local government areas?
No, I will not say that before elections. No, that would discourage my people there. This also is a game of psychology. They will say, Oga has marked us down. But our projection is 14, is to win 14. We are going to have a massive win. The people are here. Their expectations are here. Their confidence is with us because they are expecting the change that will make.
Have you experienced any muscling by the stronger political parties?
Well, we've experienced muscling, but not on a scale that will scare us. The party in power tries to throw its weight around, but I must say that we are coping very well. 2 days ago, 11 p.m. or thereabout, some security people in overall went to the house of one of our people. They knocked off the doors, every door.
Your presidential candidate that was coming to the election, I saw somewhere who was complaining that military men stopped him and they didn't allow him.
They didn't want to let him in. Yeah.
No, do you see this playing out? If your members are complaining of Muslim, do you see this playing out at the election?
I believe that the security agencies would not go out of their way to muzzle people. Election is a street affair.
They call it a festival of democracy.
Yeah.
That's what they call election. And
yeah.
hopefully that's what we think it could be.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
And we hope it will be.
My final question to you tonight is whether or not you can look the people of Ekiti State in the eye and say, look, this election is not about violence. It's not a do or die. Should you lose this election, Engineer Shegoni, would you congratulate the winner?
Fairly, if it's a fair process, I will. You see, let me tell you, there's nothing that I want personally in life that I have not had. I'm being driven now by my love for the people. The fact that I believe the ideas that I have can turn around the situation for my people. And that is why I'm doing all this. And if somebody can beat me fairly and squarely in this election, of course I'll congratulate the person.
So you look so confident. I mean, you've traversed APC, PDP, and now you're at the SDP. It looks like you know the game of your friends and how they played.
I believe that this is an election for us to win, not by way of tactics and so on. No. By the force of the people. And that's why we are going to be very, very difficult to handle.
Right. Because
while others are trying to see what they can do with security, see what they can do with vote buying, and so on, we are head on with the people, and the people are embracing us, and that is the biggest factor in this equation.
Engineer Shegoni, we must leave it at that. And, wish you the very best in this election.
Thank you,
and we say, may the best man win. Thank you so much for coming. Engineer Shegoni, the SDP governorship candidate in the Ekiti governorship election. And that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget, Channel Television is on the ground, and there's something coming up. Don't forget, on election day, stick with us because we're bringing something heavy from the bag. What could that be? I won't let the cat out of the bag. Just stay with Channel Television. I'm sure Kimale. Bye, everyone.